Last year, before the coronavirus, we were meeting in a college campus in Columbus, Georgia, and then we transitioned to our services being both online and in person. As a result, people are connecting with our church from around the United States and all over the world. So we created a midweek broadcast. We called this thing Family Bible Training because during this broadcast, we're going to ask you as a family to open up the Bible, to memorize the Bible, and parents, we're going to try to give you some tools to hand your faith off to your children. This broadcast is also called Lead Them Well, because the idea here is that parents, you're trying to lead your children to understand who our God is. You're trying to lead your children so that what you believe will become what they believe one day when they leave home. So I want to thank you for joining us for this midweek broadcast that we call Lead Them Well. In order to turn this into more of a midweek worship experience, we've asked our friends Pete and Alicia from Wonderwall Music in South Africa if they would be willing to do some music for us today. So what I want you to do is to just sit back in your living room. Parents, gather the children around the tablet or around the TV, and would you go ahead and just sing some songs together as Pete and Alicia lead us and cause us to focus our attention on King Jesus. After they've led us in a few songs, then we're going to come together and we're going to study from the Bible, and we're going to learn a little bit about the word revelation, not the Bible book revelation, but the theology word revelation. So sit back, turn the volume up, and sing along with Pete and Alicia as they lead us in some music right now.
Father, thank you for setting the table for us to come and feast on you. The table of your presence is set before us, Father. And we are here because of the Lamb. Thank you that we can feast on your presence.
I was buried beneath my shame. Who could carry this kind of weight? It was my tomb till I met you. And I was breathing but not alive. And all my failures I've tried to hide. It was my tomb till I met you. Then you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. The old made new, Jesus, when I met you. Then you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day.
You call out the dead. You say, come alive in me. Come alive in His presence. Yeah. Oh, awake, you sleeper. Come alive in Him.
I needed rescue, my sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan, you called me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open. Then you called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day.
Oh, we're running to you, our strong and mighty tower. We run into you, God. Your love is our tower, strong and mighty tower. Your love is our tower. We run into you, we run into you. Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me. And I will open up my heart, let the healer set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my hands, for I will always sing of when your love came down. I could sing of your love forever, over and over. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. Over and over, your love has proved us. Your love has proved that you are good, that you are faithful, that you are strong and reliable. It's your love, it's your love, it's your love, it's your love. Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me. And I will open up my heart, let the healers set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my hands, for I will always sing of when your love came down. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever, over and over. I could sing of your love forever. It's your love, it's your love, it's your love, God, yeah. It's your love, it's your love, it's your love, God. We want to get lost in you. Oh, it's your love, it's your love, it's your love, God. And show me your ways. Show me your ways. Show me your ways. I wanna walk with you. I wanna walk with you in the garden of love. Show me your ways, yeah. Show me your ways, 'cause I love your ways. I love your ways. I wanna walk with you in the garden of love. Show me your ways. Show us, Father, open our eyes. I wanna walk with you. I wanna walk with you in the garden of love. 'Cause I love your ways. I love your ways. We are walking in the garden of love. 'Cause I love your ways. I love your ways. I wanna walk with you in the garden of love. Show me your ways. I wanna walk with you in the garden of love. 'Cause I love your ways. I love your ways. I wanna walk with you in the garden of love. In the garden, the garden of your heart, Father, the garden of your heart. The center of your love, the center of your affection. In the garden of love. Intimacy, it's intimacy, Father. intimacy unto the fruitfulness. The fruit comes out of intimacy. I want to walk with you, want to walk with you in the garden of love. To abide in the true vine. To abide in the true vine. To abide in the true vine. Let me abide in the true vine. Jesus, 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 Jesus. We abide in you. We only want to do what you do. Because everything else is a waste. We want to do what you do. The business of kingdom, the business of heaven. Heaven on earth, heaven on earth. My life is a key for the kingdom. Yeah. My life is a key for the kingdom. Unlocking heaven, unlocking heaven. Heaven on earth. Unlocking heaven on earth. Father, let our life be a key for your kingdom. A key that unlocks heaven, a key that unlocks heaven, heaven, heaven on earth. Let my life unlock heaven, heaven on earth. 'Cause I just want to be where you are. Where you are is where I want to be, Father. Where you are is where I want to be, Father. 'Cause I just want to be, Lord, I just want to be where you are. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I just want to be near your heart. There is nothing like your love. There is nothing like your love in the whole wide world.
Thanks so much, Pete and Alicia, for that beautiful music. Did you notice the background? Did you see the wheat swaying on the screens behind them? That background is the perfect background to discuss what we're going to talk about today. Last week, we began a study of the word revelation. Now, revelation is the idea that our God hasn't hidden himself, that our God wants to make himself known. If you missed last week's broadcast, would you go back and watch last week's broadcast? Because last week we started talking about the concept of general revelation. Today we're going to take that idea of general revelation one step further. You can see the image on the screen. We're going to talk about how God has revealed himself to us in nature. And what we learned last week is that our God doesn't hide from us. Our God wants to be known. In fact, he created in such a way that we would be able to see his beautiful creation around us, that we would be able to get to know the God who created all of this beautiful stuff that we see around us, and that we would be able to enter into a relationship with him. That's the general idea of the Bible word revelation. Today, I want us to focus for just a second on the way God reveals himself to us in nature. Each week, we ask you as a family to commit to memorize a Bible verse together. I'm going to ask you tonight as a family, Mom and Dad, will you do this? Mom, Dad, will you lead your children to do this? Will you memorize one verse from the Psalms tonight? Because Psalm 19 describes how God has revealed himself to us through the world that he created. And the way that we do this is we're going to say where this is found in the Bible. We're going to say it out loud from the Bible. And then one more time, we're going to recite where this is found in the Bible. So here we go. Revelation, general revelation, God revealing himself in nature is found in Psalm 19, verse 1. And it says, "The heavens proclaim the glory of God. The skies display his craftsmanship." Psalm 19, verse 1. What this verse, actually all of Psalm 19 is saying, but what Psalm 19, verse 1 says is, when you look at the sky, when you see the clouds during the day and the stars at night, you get a little information about who God is because of this beautiful world that he created. When you see mountain views and when you see rivers and when you see beautiful grassy fields, it describes for us a little bit about the kind of God that he is, because it shows us a little bit about his creative nature. In fact, many people will tell you that when they are in nature, when they see the sun rise in the morning, when they watch it set over the ocean at night, when they're in the mountains or in the trees, they feel the presence of God. Isn't it a little interesting that people say, I feel God's presence by being outside in nature? And I think if we were to just slow down for a second and examine that phrase, what we're learning is that people look at this world that we created and we say, certainly this wasn't an accident because of billions of years of evolution. No, there really was a God who is incredible, a magnificent God who created these incredible views that I can see around me in nature. So Psalm 19 verse 1 is saying, when you look up at the heavens, when you see the skies, you see a little bit about God revealing himself to us in nature. The Psalm also tells us who he is, how he is a craftsman, how his nature is beautiful, it's spectacular to behold. So I want you to think through this concept a little bit, parents. What is something that you find beautiful about creation, beautiful about nature? Would you go ahead and tell your children right now? Just pause this video and tell them what you think is the most beautiful spot on earth, and tell them why you think this is the most beautiful spot on earth. Now that you've done that, parents, I've got a little exercise that I want you to do with your children. I want you to think about this exercise like a digital catechism. It's a chance for you at home to teach your children by putting into practice some of the things that they're hearing, to teach them about their faith. That's what the catechism word means. It's when parents or pastors hand the faith off to the next generation. It's usually done through questions and answers. But this digital catechism that we're doing is through some practical exercises. So parents, I've got an exercise for your little ones to do. This is your elementary age children. Would you go ahead and take out some crayons, take out some colored pencils, and a piece of paper? And would you ask your young ones to just draw a picture of a mountain sunset? Tell them to use all of their creativity, to use all of their imagination, and draw the prettiest picture that they can of a mountain sunset. Put the stuff in the picture that reminds them of the mountains. And would you tell them that when they're done with this picture, you're going to hang that picture on the refrigerator door as a way for your children to remember that that beautiful mountain view that they're drawing on a piece of paper, it's God's way of showing off how beautiful He is, how creative He is, how incredible He is by the earth that we see around us. This is a really good exercise for you to do with your little ones, parents. But I've also got an exercise for you to do with your teenagers. You see, teens, you don't need mom and dad to help you with this, but I want you to just think about it right now. And from memory, if you can think about it, and if you're in middle school or high school, you should be able to remember at least one law of nature. At least one rule that no matter where you are on the planet, no matter what's happening, this law of nature, because it's a scientific law, it always happens the same way every time. Can you think of Einstein's law, or maybe Newton's laws, or other laws of nature? Just one. I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. You see, what the young ones did in the family is they did a little exercise about God's general revelation, God revealing Himself to us in nature by the beauty of God. God is beautiful, God is creative, and when God creates, He puts a little bit of His beauty in everything that He creates. That's the beautiful picture that your young ones drew. But for your teens, they are illustrating a different principle. God is a God of order. And God created nature in such a way that the laws of nature are always the same every time, no matter where and when you do this, anywhere on planet Earth, anywhere in the universe. That's God placing a little bit of His nature, revealing a little bit of His nature, being a creative God and a God of order. He created the universe so that it follows certain principles, it follows certain laws. Students, whenever you think about those laws of nature, I want you to think our God is a God of order, and that's why these laws of nature function this way. Children, whenever you see a beautiful mountain view, whenever you see a beautiful picture of the earth on the television, I want you to think our God is a creator, our God is beautiful, and when our God creates, the things that He creates is beautiful. That's general revelation. That's God just revealing Himself to all people all over the planet, and He does it through nature. I hope this has been an exercise for you and for your family that you won't forget. I hope that you've enjoyed the music. I hope that you'll memorize Psalm 19 verse 1. And I'll see you right back here next week as we learn how God uses the human consciousness to reveal Himself to us.